Was it a male or a female queen?
She was a pretty girl back then.
She was.
She's so messed up now with drugs. She's got a son that.
Is a Christian. I don't want you to know her mother's ever.
And I was like, I've not seen her on Facebook in a while. She unfriended me.
I thought of a T-shirt that would be really cool. I'd have to redo the wording or come up with something just perfect. The idea is, ask yourself, are you one of the 6 people that I cannot tolerate in this world? Are you one of the 6? Before you move forward, the type thing. You know, I need to refine that, and then I need to make a T-shirt.
And who'd she get this post from? The U.S. Democratic Socialist.
Mm-hmm.
That's all she does is post crap.
Okie dokie. Ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. I say we're going to be really live now. I think we're going to go live. What do you think? Is it a good idea to go live?
Go right ahead.
Yes,
Go with
it
yourself.
Hey y'all.
Hey.
1 week down, 51 weeks left before we get a look-see at some new faces in the U.S. House and Senate. Those of us here in North Carolina are going to get a new senator. Tom Tillis has served us in the Senate for almost 3 terms now. He announced last year that he would not seek re-election. There's a good chance there will be a number of new congressmen and senators across the country. Both political parties are hoping they can pick up some new folks. Midterm elections are a rough one every time around. The seated president will often lose popularity during his term, especially if it's a lame duck term, causing voters to turn away from the entire party. 51 weeks. It's kind of like Area 51, isn't it? And we can only hope that socialists don't continue snookering voters to support their socialist plans. Good Friday Eve. I'm Rayford Brown.
I'm Chris Marks. Hello.
Wow, you're just all. Good morning. I'm Lee Barrels. I'm like, wow, Chris.
I was kind of bland on your part.
Well, he took all the
steam out of your sails.
He took all the steam out.
Oh.
Good morning. Yeah, I have to laugh because he'll do that in the morning when he's, opens it up for the weather people to check in. He's like, good morning, Jacksonville. And what's the first thing I think of? Good morning, Vietnam, know? And
Vietnam. The words of Robin at that time.
Right.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Oh, Vietnam. But I think of that every time you do that. Yeah, it was a good movie. He was a good actor, bless his heart.
A troubled.
Yes, troubled soul.
Troubled. Going into the end of the year holidays, the flu deaths in North Carolina numbered 39. After collecting all the data as of yesterday, we now know that 71 people have died this season in North Carolina. Scary to think about it, but kids are now back in school. Oh boy, in close working quarters with other students who've been exposed to who knows what, wherever they went. Please, for everyone's sake, know what signs to look for. I'm not going to tell you. You need to figure it out yourself. You can Google it. You can go to med this or med that and look for it, and you'll find it. Right. If your child exhibits any of the signs of having flu, you should be considering keeping him home or her home.
Amen.
You can easily Google the signs. No need to list them here. Obviously, anytime there's a fever involved, it's time to start taking precautions regardless. If there's a fever, there's something. Don't know whether it's contagious or whether it's just a situation. We still have not reached the peak of this season yet. That's the other scary part. The elderly and the very young are most vulnerable. Pay attention to them. Take action sooner than later. A reminder that many of the hospitals, including Onslow Memorial here in Jacksonville, have reverted back to the way it used to be all the time. No kids under 12 can visit anyone in the hospital.
Right.
There may be extenuating circumstances, of course, but by and large, leave your kids under 12 and under at home. I think it's under 12. Leave them home. Find a babysitter. Whatever. I hated being taken to the hospital and had to sit in the car or in the waiting room was worse. It was worser. So happy New Year to 28-year-old Brianna Anderson. She got a bit of a surprise visit from the State Bureau of Investigation this week. They arrested her on charges that she pocketed some $8,000 while employed at the Vance County Tax Office in 2025. If you're going to steal from somebody,
Good
don't
Lord.
steal from bean counters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Don't do that. She was a tax collection specialist until yesterday or this week.
How
For that office.
special.
The agents charged her with 3 counts of stealing tax dollars from the tax office in Vance County. Somehow she managed to raise enough cash money to cover a $105,000 secured bond.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Wow.
Okay, yes, I know the story that everybody's talking about, that the networks were littered with, that everybody else has been humming it.
All the
All the NFL coaches that have been fired?
God, I'll tell you what.
No?
Nope.
Okay.
There's another one.
I knew
There's
they were
another
good.
one out there. A woman who federal agents said tried to run one of them down yesterday was shot to death by an ICE agent. Happening where else? Minneapolis, Minnesota. ICE agents have been conducting raids as they are illegal aliens in that area. Why are you so opposed to police officers making arrests for people who are breaking the law? How can you justify that? I don't care what the law is. If it's the law, it's on the books and they're told to do it. Who do you think you
Right.
are to get in the way? That's number one. You're interfering. And all of the people who are out there interfering, they all should go to jail. They just don't have time to round them up. But every time you get in front of a cop doing his job, you should go to jail for interfering. Period. Bottom line. Done. ICE agents are conducting those raids. They've been subjected to the typical anti-protest during the entirety of this operation and others. The female driver had stopped her car. It was parked across the road, perpendicular to the flow of traffic on an iced over highway. The agents, they got out of their vehicles. They approached her car. One of them reached for the door handle to open it up. There were shouts of no, no, no from the background, the peanut gallery, because they had peanut brains. She refused to get out of the vehicle. One agent appears, according to witnesses who have seen all of the videos, to be at the front of the car. Others were along the sides of the car. When she suddenly accelerated, her car tires were turned in one direction and she just hit the accelerator and took off. She clipped him. He fired into the car, not through the side glass window. He fired straight through the front of the car as the car was coming towards him. There's a bullet hole there. There's your clue. And he shot her. She died. Her car continued along the road until she struck a parked car. Other agents were running towards the scene of the crash, and the one guy got up and he kept on limping. He seemed limping. I don't know anything more than that. I don't. This is a specific case, so I don't know anything except what the statements that are out there already. I don't care about the comments from the mayor. I could care less He was not at the scene, by the way.
That's
I
right.
could care less for comments from the mayor of New York, who was several hundred miles away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about a congresswoman who was not there.
Right.
2 pieces of video, 2 so far, from bystanders, not the cops or the agent, showed the agent in front of the car shooting as the car hit him. He was firing at the car as it bore down on him. I was not there. I only know what has been said. Don't care about those aforementioned individuals. They are nothing as far as I'm concerned. They were
The
not on
governor.
the scene. They were not there. And they have agendas. What went down, we will learn. Protesters don't like ICE. We know that. The mayor says, the Homeland Security said the agent acted in self-defense. The mayor said that's baloney. You're baloney, Mayor. What went down, we will learn more about. But courts have ruled, for you folks who say she was just driving a car. No, courts have ruled time and again and again and again that a car is a deadly weapon, and a police officer can use deadly force against the driver if the driver is deliberately driving towards them. What will be examined in part of this investigation, I'll explain to you, will be the distance between the car and the agent when she started accelerating. If, example, he was the length of a football field away from that car, 300 feet, 100 yards, he would not have any reason to shoot.
Correct.
He was not in immediate danger. If he was 10 feet away, or even less, a completely different story. Your reaction time, and you don't know, like, she has all the direction of travel. She knows where she's going and how she can turn the steer with the wheel or whatever. I will await a detailed report on what really went down, and not from edited video on TV. Yeah, there was a lot of video taken by bystanders. We don't know whether the TV stations that are putting this out there got people who shot the video edited versions of it, or whether the TV stations edited it to fit their narrative.
Right.
I don't know. Do you?
No,
Nope.
do you recall that I saw on one broadcast the video from way atop,
Yeah,
and
up higher.
from up higher and down through a tree.
Yep.
Who shot it?
Well, it wasn't law enforcement.
No.
They had no reason to be there shooting.
I also don't care what Representative Omar thinks.
Goofus brain.
There's a lot of sirens out on the road right now. Just looking to see if there was anything listed. Can you hear 'em?
Can you hear sirens?
Yeah, they're
Quite a
just down
few.
the road.
Yeah, I've heard 2 or 3.
Yeah. It's got to be Piney Green in somewhere.
Oh, I just pray whatever it's
Yeah.
okay.
Um,
Rayford, when saw that and then started getting into all the news, the different videos
versions of it.
and the different versions of it, and we're listening to a lot of the witnesses that were on camera talking about it. This all could have been avoided. Of course, everything can be avoided. There's a lot of sirens. Goodness. But this woman had been allegedly, by all the reports, she had been harassing these officers all day. And
It's not the only day either.
yeah, and she had been impeding traffic, blocking traffic at different times. It's when they announced that she was under arrest, she went ballistic with the vehicle. But follow the officer's orders. If he says step out of the car, step out of the car.
If you guys
You'd be
will-
alive to talk about it.
I'm sure you guys who love to watch stuff. I know Lee does.
Eh,
She
do
looks at
all
a
day.
lot of the cop type stops on TV and and the clips, the videos, generally from either dash cams or from body cams or
Right.
from the cameras that are in the cars of the
Right.
individuals that are being stopped. Dash cams or cell phone cams from the guys inside the cars. I don't know how you can drive a car down the road and run a cell phone at the same time shooting video. I always gets me when police are approaching. One little piece of advice. I appreciate you guys, and I may end up getting me a dash camera, not because of the cops, but just because of the idiots that are out there. Because I would just like to stream them all together one day, and particularly if I can get them doing stupid stuff, or when they do stupid stuff, and I happen to be shooting, I'll turn it over to the police. Yeah, here's your tag number. Here's your evidence. Here's the date and the time.
I could have used that Monday night when they were doing drag racing on 258.
Yeah. But anyway, let me give you a piece of when you're being approached by an officer walking up beside your car, and you've got a cell phone in your hand. Consider, and your windows are either dark
Tinted,
or
right?
slightly dark or whatever, or it's nighttime. Consider one thing. Put yourself in his shoes. You're walking up to somebody you don't know anything about except what is on their driver's license record when they run it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They don't know anything. You may have been doing something, just speeding, just a minor offense or whatever. But as he approaches that car, put yourself in his shoes. Would you walk up to that car when there's somebody holding something in their hand at the window? Would you walk up to it? No, I'll walk up to it, but I'm gonna take cover behind the rear fender, and then they're going to get out of the car. They will be encouraged to get out of the car. They will be discouraged from doing stupid stuff. That phone, there's been too many people to get shot holding a phone up there. They reach into their pockets and they grab something, and they're grabbing a phone instead of a gun. What do you think the police officer is going to do? Wait to see if the picture turns out?
Oh, no.
No.
Give you a quick example, Rayford. Last night I was watching a program because there was nothing else on Alaska Highway Patrol.
Oh, yeah.
And the gentleman, the patrolman said, I don't like going into
Marty.
I don't like going into
He may have some
situations
info for us. I'm sorry,
where
Chris.
I don't know what's going
It's
to
an
meet
awful
me there.
feeling.
Gosh, yeah.
It's an awful feeling. Domestics, burglaries, burglary alarms in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Oh, at the Fort Fisher Aquarium where there's nobody down there in the middle of the night.
Could have been a shark jumped the tank. You don't
Alligator.
know.
I'm not worried about sharks. I'm worried about those alligators they have pinned up out there that could get out.
Marty, what's
Marty.
happening on
Good
Piney
morning.
Green?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
There is a accident probably 500 yards before you get to Old 30 intersection in Piney Green.
Yep.
Somebody ran into the back end of somebody else. That's why you hear all the sirens.
All right.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
You're safe.
I'm assuming somebody is hurt.
I don't know. Well, there might be some whiplash, at least whiplash, because
Okay.
that truck hit that car in the tail end pretty south.
Okay.
Ooh.
Now, are there lanes blocked or traffic? Is traffic blocked?
The outside lane coming towards White Oak High School is blocked.
Okay, so near Old 30, there is a traffic wreck, and there's going to be a one block lane at least.
Yes.
Take another route, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other route.
Piney Green Speedway, I tell you.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
And they want to go 55, 60 miles an hour through a 35 mile an hour school zone. They always beat my bumper up.
Yeah.
That's one place I am not speeding.
Nope.
But you're okay, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
They went around, the rescue truck went around me with the lights going. I said, wonder where he's going. And another mile, I said, he's going right there.
Yeah, I found him.
Wow.
All right, Marty. Thank you.
Marty.
Well, be
All right.
careful.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
As soon as I saw it was Marty calling, I said, "Oh, he's got a traffic."
Yeah. Okay. Now, folks, again, it's on Piney Green Road. If you're traveling out there, and probably for the next, it's going to be a wreck. Highway Patrol's got to get there. No vehicle's going to be moved. And you're going to have probably a fire truck or two, and definitely EMS, and definitely a wrecker or two. And then you're
Slow
going to
down.
have sheriff's office will be
Slow
there, I'm sure, pretty quickly to help the patrol with traffic. So pick another route. It's going to be a mess here. But the lanes
Slow
coming
down.
into towards White Oak High School from that
24.
location,
From 24.
from 24, those lanes are blocked
Mhm.
at this time. So they're going to have to
Let me
work out
see.
traffic
Got a
control to get
message.
around it. So y'all, if you're going, I wouldn't go anyway. I just will pick another
Yeah.
route.
Yeah, just if you're taking your child to school, just go in with them.
But you
and go
guys
to-
leaving Camp
no,
Lejeune,
The wreck is right in front of Piney Green Tire and Auto on the far lane.
okay.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Other Chris.
Which other Chris? This Chris?
Our favorite
other
sports
Chris.
editor.
Okay. I mean, we
Yeah.
got a Chris with a K. We got a bunch of Chris's. We got a sheriff with a name. We got a bunch of
I
Chris's.
have a
out there.
sister, Chris.
She didn't call.
But just go real quickly. When I saw that show last night, and he had pulled out his rifle, so, and they had to go to this boat, and they kept telling the guy on the boat, "Get off the boat. We're not leaving." And he's turning off lights on the inside of the boat. These law enforcement do not know what they're going to face when they go out there. And
Exactly right.
These are, everybody knows my list. Military, law enforcement is heroes, law enforcement,
Mhm.
rescue personnel, and
First
teachers.
Absolutely.
responders, right? Yeah.
The folks, the law enforcement does not know these cops that are approaching a scene. Any call, there's no such thing as a routine call or a
Right.
routine traffic stop. Anything that they're approaching, they don't know what they're coming up to. So they are going to take the first steps to be able to go home when the shift ends. You know that they're coming. What you need to know is they're probably better prepared to deal with you than you are to deal with them. So they will take action quickly. And it may be you pulling your cell phone out of your pocket suddenly. Don't do that.
That
Don't do
can
that.
definitely get you
Put
shot.
your hands and do not be pulling anything out of your pockets. Don't. If you reach underneath your coat, you're going to get shot. They don't have to see the gun.
No, and if you happen to be one that has a concealed permit and you have one in your glove compartment, tell them as soon as they walk up. Tell them
it's
you have.
required
Yeah.
by law. By the
Right,
way, if
right.
you want to keep that concealed carry permit, because if you don't, you're going to lose the permit
Yeah.
and you won't get it back.
We should get my renewal here soon.
Okay, just learn. The ongoing anti-police, anti-ICE protests while these officers are doing their job that they were hired to do and took an oath of office to perform, whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. The negative rhetoric from the left, self-proclaimed experts, and every political hack from coast to coast have done nothing but fan these flames. Agents are daily attacked, maced, struck with rocks and bottles while they're doing their jobs, and some have been seriously injured. Lawlessness has been a problem for a long time. We know that. Violence towards police, clowns with cameras agitating cops who are just going to work, looking for some video to post on socialist media, not a good thing. It's also a dumb thing. There is a feeding frenzy among people who don't want to see illegal aliens arrested. At what point do you not want to see illegal murderers arrested? Huh? Well, where does it stop? Who are you to decide when they are illegals whether the cops should arrest them or not? What business is it of yours? None. You have no say in this. They are illegals. They're going to be arrested. You're smoking dope and you're in a place that the police are going to arrest you. You are going to get arrested. It's not up to you. If you're speeding, you're going to get a ticket.
Yeah.
It's not up to you whether you get it or not. It's how bad they treat you, whether there's any room for negotiating when it gets to court will be up to them, because every time you act like a jerk when they pull you over, it goes written right down there on a piece of paper. Dumb. and that will be presented in court. When you go to court a month or two later with a serious speeding violation and in excess of 15 miles an hour over the posted speed limit, you're going to lose your license, okay, for 30 days. If you're convicted of 16 or more miles per hour over the posted speed limit in a speed zone of, I think it's 55 or greater, you can lose your license automatically. That's done. People will try to say, can you drop that to, in other words, instead of 76 and a 70, 76 and a 60, you lose your license then. But most district attorneys, if you got a clean record, you're decent, you ask politely, you come to court looking like a human being and not with knees hanging out of your pants and where your pants supposed to have knees, and you're acting like a human being, and don't get in there and start cutting up and act belligerent. And you ask any way to reduce this so I can keep my license. I don't have a record. And 99.9% of the time, you're going to get that okay. They will reduce it to 75 or exceeding the posted speed limit or whatever.
I have heard
it happens
that depending on it, they may even just drop the charges.
Some cases.
Some cases.
But if you go in there and you've been belligerent to the police officer, and the DA will ask the officer, how did this gentleman act when you were writing him the ticket? And he starts repeating what he has written down there on his pad. Sorry, bud. There's 30 days without a license. Automatically.
Yep.
That's the way it works. Your attitude goes a long way. This attitude got her killed yesterday. Okay. Actions have consequences.
Exactly.
Yesterday, a woman was killed, shot to death, when preliminary reports, official reports, show she had nothing but disdain for those officers. Was it worth it to her, her family, her daughter by a marriage in the past, her lesbian lover? Does anyone think the agents are going? You didn't hear about that part, did you?
Well, no, I knew that, but
How about all their losses? Their losses.
Right.
Whose fault is it that they've lost this woman? Hers. No one but her. She's the responsible one. Does anyone think the agents are going to turn tail and leave? No.
They're there to do a job.
Do you think this will cause those at the top to say, okay, we will give up and let you have your way? No. Go that way. The mayor means nothing to the feds in Washington, D.C. They don't count. Hopefully, we'll never let it get back the way it became during the terms of many presidents. Not from this president. Presidents over the decades have failed to push to make sure these laws were enforced, and these laws are not enforced. Too many presidents, and all the presidents, men at the time, they said, wait, yes, just let it be. Let them come across the border. It's okay. We'll see what we can do about it. Let them bring a little bit of dope with them. It's okay. Where do you stop? It was easier in those days for those presidents who most of the time were running for re-election just to let it be. Don't worry about it. And now here we are. You give them an inch, anything is a cinch.
Well,
and then they will just take a mile.
According to Christy Nome last night when she did her presser, she said this woman had been agitating these ICE officers all day, following them, stalking them, impeding traffic.
It wasn't just yesterday.
Giving them a hard time, and they were trying their best to ignore her. They got stuck in the ice and snow on the road. They were trying to take care of. They were trying to leave the area. And they had just about had enough of her and decided we're going to arrest her when all this came down. If you want to protest. There is no reason. And you can see videos of people throwing at the ICE agents hitting them in the back. You could see where the back window of their pickup truck was busted out.
That is assault.
You know,
Damage to federal property.
Yeah.
That's jail time, people.
I just don't get Minneapolis.
I've got to go back to our priest at our church.
Mhm.
He said something one time to the congregation. He said this, remember the past so you don't repeat it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to go back to 2020 George Floyd.
May 25th.
Okay. The only reason I do it, Rayford and Lee, is this. He was given instructions by law enforcement officers, and what did he do?
Refused.
Refused. This lady refused.
Mhm.
All starting with now, starting in 2020, all these big protests all across the country and stuff because law enforcement did their job. Now there was force used. We understand that, and officers were charged.
Right.
But go back to what started it. What started it?
If he had done the right thing in the first place, there never would have reached that level. Those officers, a couple of them were trainees. They were relatively new. And the ringleader of that group should never have been allowed to reach that level. So there were issues there. Now, if you want to go back to Mr. Brown there in Missouri, was it?
Where? Elizabeth City?
No, in Missouri.
oh,
In
oh,
Missouri.
George Brown. George. No.
It's not George.
Michael Brown.
Michael
Michael
Brown.
Brown.
Michael Brown.
Yeah.
That was a thug. He just robbed a guy anyway. Strong arm robbed a store clerk. This guy was a big dude.
Yes,
Walking
he
in the middle of
was.
the road, told to get off the road, and because he was the cars coming around there, and the guy told him, no, he didn't do it. Police officer was stopped in the middle of the road,
Yeah, that
on
was
the road,
Ferguson.
and he walks back to the officer and punches him through the open window, and then grabs him. This guy could have made mincemeat of that officer sitting in that car. He was at Mr. Brown's beck and call. Mr. Brown had complete and total control. He was reaching there, trying to get this officer's gun. Well, the officer shot the man. Well, what would you do if you were being beaten or strangled or whatever? What would you do? What would anybody do? Do you think if this Mr. Brown had gotten that gun, what would he have done?
Yeah.
His history already
Yeah,
was
we
there.
shot that officer.
Would you speak of that before you go to the weather? In Florida last week, they had pulled over a man who was a sex offender. There was a 15-year-old in the car. There was a 7-year-old in the car. They got the person they were looking for, tried to arrest him. He ran. They got him, pushed the lieutenant away from the car, tried to grab her gun. The 15-year-old grabs the law enforcement car and starts leading, leads to a chase, and another police officer car got T-boned by trying to stop him. These are the things that law enforcement face
Every day.
doing their job.
Every day.
Well, it was a tragic situation that unfolded yesterday. It could have all been avoided. And my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone involved. But it's just like Rayford said earlier, actions have consequences. Minneapolis is probably going to face nights and nights of riots now and buildings burning because that's the way some protesters, that's the only way they know to do, is burn the city down to make our point. I pray not.
How much sense does that even make?
And you know what gets me is Governor Waltz. And that's a whole nother story we're going to talk about later about the hearings yesterday.
Is he calling for peace?
He's calling. He's talking about bringing in the National Guard. Now, does he think that the National Guard will defy the orders of the federal government and go by what he says?
No, you can't.
I mean, come on, Governor.
If he wants to do battle with the federal government, I'm
Battle
got to
with.
explain something to you, dude. Those National Guard troops are not going to listen to your orders. You will be giving them an illegal order they do not have to follow. They are militarily trained.
Right.
If you give them an order to stop ICE or other federal officers from doing their jobs, they do not have to obey your order. That's an unlawful order. Just put it into perspective because you don't have any military training. I'll guarantee you, Walls.
I will say that Governor Walz, a lot of his words yesterday when he gave his spiel, it sounded just like some of the words that Trump used on January 6th. Now I'm thinking, now are we going to impeach Walz? Are we going to say that he's trying to cause us? I mean, I was like, you accused Trump of saying blah, blah, blah. And look, you're doing the same thing.
Yeah. Well, he's not running for re-election because he wants to concentrate on letting everybody
he
know.
He can't get reelected.
Well, but his reasoning was he wants to continue to prove that Minnesota is the best place to raise children.
When he's no longer governor, he's going to retire. He's going to go to the beach. You're not going to see or hear anything about him.
He's
Just
one and done. On the weather front, not too bad for January, y'all. Good gracious. Wow.
Aloha.
Today, out to 20 nautical miles offshore. Aloha.
Aloha.
Where's your shirt? Your aloha shirt.
He should have been wearing
I
his.
should've
Been
wore
wearing
it,
your
yeah.
Hawaiian shirt today.
Yeah.
Out to 20 nautical miles, northeasterly winds around 10 knots today. Nice seas around 2 feet, 5 seconds apart. Very nice. Sounds and rivers a light chop. Friday, get ready to fish on. Southerly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Saturday, getting to be not so good. Winds out of the south 10 to 15, increasing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 5. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop, increasing to choppy in the afternoon.
Today, patchy fog before 9 a.m. Otherwise, mostly sunny with a high near 67. Calm wind becoming east around 6 miles per hour in the afternoon. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 48. Friday, partly sunny with a high near 75. Friday night, a slight chance of showers, mostly cloudy with a low around 58. And Saturday, a slight chance of morning showers, partly sunny with a high near 75. And listening to the weather forecasters this morning on the news, if you plan on tailgating at the ball game Saturday afternoon, you might want to think twice. Bring your umbrellas.
Bring a tent. Okay, for my ham friends, this ham biscuit is not for you. It is for one of them because you got one too. Thank you, Chris.
I had one.
Ham biscuit. It's good.
I had
Goodness
one.
gracious. Ham Radio Club here, Amateur Radio Club, Onslow Amateur Radio Club. Those guys are out there this morning, as they are every morning. And they give us the temperature and a couple of other deals here. Out in the Southwest community, Randy and Boomer's his dog. They're out on the golf cart. 41 degrees it was about 45 minutes ago, 99% humidity. He had a lot of some light fog in the Southwest area. I've seen just a little bit up in the trees over there. No wind and no rain. 44 degrees from Joe in the borough. 99% humidity, calm, no wind at all. Nothing in the rain gauge. 40 degrees at the back swamp area where Lee's hanging out, the other Lee. 99% humidity. No wind, no rain. 40 degrees from Dale up at the River Bend area. 99% humidity. It was very calm there too. He said no wind blowing, no nothing happening. 0 in the rain gauge. 49 degrees. Ward over at Cedar Point, he gets a high temperature today. It's balmy, 49 degrees, 98% humidity. He had a slight breeze at the time and no rain. Lee, our very own Lady Blue Lee, she had 42 degrees in the Woodlands, 96% humidity. It was calm there, no rain. And here at the time, still is there. It's 38 degrees, 99% humidity at the studio. Winds are nothing up to about 3 miles per hour from the south-southwest. No rain. Up at our different sensor, a little closer to the house where all the brick are kept in the warmth from overnight. It's 40 degrees there, or was. Okay. 910-333-0139. 910-333-0139. You want to chat about this stuff from yesterday? Fine. I do not know anything except what the reports are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not speculating about anything. I do know about how police will react and how they're trained to react as well, too, folks, because they know what they're doing and they never can tell what's coming down the pike.
Well, the FBI took over the investigation, so we'll know more. And from what I've seen, I have my thoughts. things could, develop that change those thoughts.
Yep.
But right now, it's too early to say. It needs to be investigated thoroughly and let the FBI do their job.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware, but there was a shooting last night in Utah. Did you hear about that?
Salt Lake City
Yeah.
Yes, at a church.
at a memorial service.
Have you got it?
I
have you got the story?
I'm just-
You go right
well, I'm
ahead.
just looking at it right now. 2 people dead,
Yeah, I watched that last night.
6 others wounded outside Salt Lake City. Latter-day Saints Church. Wow.
hmm
What in the world's wrong with people?
Yeah, they said 3 were critical, and the other 3 they weren't too sure last night
Mhm.
about their injuries because they didn't wait for EMS.
they
They,
were-
had
they
people
were-
pick them up and take them to different
They were
hospitals.
there for a funeral.
Mhm.
Yes, a funeral.
A funeral.
Right.
I'm just not.
Well, they said a fight occurred in the parking lot. It broke out in the parking lot. From there, that's when guns came out. So
Let's see here.
it was crazy. I mean, there was
No.
children and families at that funeral. I mean, and in the speculation, it was gang related. So we'll see. We'll see what comes out of it.
Yeah. Well,
Makes me scared to go to a funeral. now.
why do you have gangs involved at church? Was this a
It
gang
could have been
member?
I was just going to say it could have been a gang member's funeral.
Yeah, well,
Possibly.
I was trying to find the
Well-
name of the person they were there for, and it was I almost say Muslim type name,
Mhm.
or it was just a viewing, and then the body burial. But yeah, they was with gangs in that area, and a fight broke out in the parking lot. But it was just like crazy.
I'm just not so. What's wrong with people? Somebody's going to have to get out there and explain that to me. I don't quite get it.
Well, I don't want to say singularly that it's parenting or lack of
No,
parenting.
that's the easy cop out.
Well, no, I'm saying I don't want to
No.
focus just on that,
Right.
but I'm going to use a family member. I'm not going to mention how they're related, but nothing good happens at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Mm-mm.
Please tell me, anybody that wants to tell me that something good is happening at 2 a.m. in the morning for someone that is 16 years old, please tell me what that is.
Do not leave me out.
Tell me.
You know what we used to do at Curie Beach? Curie Beach is
Yeah.
a family area, right? Nice
Yeah.
family fishing, and just not a big party town.
Mhm.
It's not the rowdy place. But at 2:00 in the morning, if you were out driving your car, we in the back of our heads considered it probable cause to stop you unless you had a boat trailer on or fishing poles hanging off the car.
I always put fishing poles
So
hanging out.
I'm serious. That we looked at. I mean, those guys that were driving around, they got fishing poles on
Yeah.
the front of the car, the back of the
Mhm.
car. They've been surf fishing down at the
Mhm.
Fort Fisher. Right? But if you're out there just tooling around, 2:00 in the morning at Curie Beach, there's a reason that we're going to look at you 2 or 3 or 4 times. Done.
Well, I'm not going to say that as the middle of 5 boys that a couple of them snuck out the windows at nighttime
Yeah, but-
in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
In the neighborhood.
We just went out our front door. And when our mom went to bed, that was it. We just went in and out the front door.
You're
could-
brazen.
We would walk down to 7-Eleven at 1:00 in the morning and get ice cream.
Growing up here, imagine
Back
then it was
imagine
good.
nothing up and down Piney Green
Yeah.
Road here.
Right.
Well, 4 houses. This was the 4th one in this entire neighborhood. Where am I going to go? One of those houses was occupied by my algebra teacher. So, no, I'm not going anywhere, y'all. My dad built all 3 of those houses. His company did. No, I'm not sneaking out of this house to go anywhere. The only time I would sneak out of this house is my ham shack used to be out there in the garage
Mhm.
place. I had a room set up out there. I'd get up at 4:00 in the morning to go out there because that was a time when certain bands were open that I used to like to get on and talk to people.
Yeah.
That was how I sneaked out of the house.
I never snuck out of the
I mean,
house,
that's not
but-
sneaking out. I mean, they know where I was and what I was doing. I didn't keep it a secret because I didn't want to get shot. Don't go sneaking around and can get you hurt too.
Talking about sneaking around. Either one of you been following this story out of Columbus, Ohio, where a dentist and his wife were
Yes.
fatally shot?
Yes.
And they have determined now it was between the hours of 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. on December 30th.
Yes.
Well, the morning, and he was meticulous for always being at work at a certain time.
Yeah.
Never missed work, never was late. Was late that morning. The staff got worried about him, started calling, could not get a hold of him or his wife. They called the police department. Of course, the police department sent an officer over there that nothing looked awry. Everything looked fine. They rang the doorbell, got no response. And of course, that's all they could do. Then one of the staffers who actually had the code to get into their house because they have a keypad on their
Mhm.
door was able to go into the house, and he could hear the children in there. They had two children. One was 4 years, one was 1 year old. And there was a dog there too, and they were completely unharmed. But as he entered into the bedroom, he saw the body of Spencer Tepe. That was the husband. He's 37, and then his wife Monique was 39. He did not see her body, but he saw his, Spencer's body. So he called dispatch, and of course, the investigation began from there. Right now, the only thing they have, because it showed no sign of forced entry,
yeah.
they were able to determine through their investigation that the deaths occurred somewhere between the hours of 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. that morning. They were able to pull up a video from a neighbor, door cams and house cams, where there was a person of interest that was wearing dark clothing, blue jeans, a hood pulled over his head, and a hat, and he kept his head down, hands in pocket, walking behind their house in the alleyway. So they are looking for that. But they're saying that this couple was just getting ready January 30th of this month.
Yeah.
Well, they would have been celebrating their 5th anniversary. They were well loved. There were so many wonderful things, of course, being said. Of course, there's still a lot of investigating to do, but I've been following that story, and it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of this.
They mentioned 3 spent shells,
Yes, 9mm.
casings, but they also came back to a month prior to that of receiving a phone call and questioning
Yes.
the wife, and was everything
There was
okay?
a phone call made, and now
Yeah.
they've come back and determined that it was actually longer than just last month. This was the latest last night, which I don't know.
It was
Chris,
11 days before this.
But they've came back last night and said that one of the witnesses has said, no, that was done in April of 2025. But anyway, there was a phone call made from that residence. I think it was 2:45 in the morning, where a female had called, hung up, 911 called
Yeah.
back and said, we got a 911 call. Is everything okay? And she'd been crying, and she just said, no, her and her man had a disagreement. She was very emotional.
You should have said police right there.
Yeah,
They always
I
do.
agree with that. And something that else got my craw, which I understand both sides of it. But when these office workers and these friends were calling the dispatcher, it was always the same dispatcher. To me, she kind of had a little bit of that attitude. Well, we've already had calls out there. We've taken more than one. And we've sent an officer. This man might have just decided not to come into work today. Or he could just be taking a morning off. Or could be running late. Or could be caught in traffic. And I thought, lady, I just felt like her actions were a little aggressive for being a 911 operator. But it's like it was a bother for her to take another call. And she started in an attitude with the guy that found the body. She started to get a little bit of attitude with him until he said, I found a body. And then, everything changed. But 911 operators, they have to go through a lot. I will agree with that. But she just kind of got under my
We'll
skin.
read you just a little bit of the call.
Yes.
911 operator says, what's the emergency? A female voice. So now they're smashing on my door. I think they're trying to get in. They're banging on my doors. Dispatcher says, okay, someone's banging and knocking. Do you know who it is? No. Do you have a description of them? No, I can't see. Have you told them, have you asked them what they want or if they need something? No. Really?
Was that
Really?
the same case?
That's the case.
I'm telling you, that 911 operator.
Really? That's the response you give them? Have you,
Mhm.
someone's banging on my door at 2:00 in the morning. Have you asked them what they want? No, I'm getting ready to shoot them. You might want to send the police over here.
Yeah, just send a medical examiner.
I'm going to be shooting through the door. What time do you think you'll have somebody here? Jesus. Again, this is Columbus, Ohio. Did they have a gun in the house? They were in the beginning thinking this might be a murder suicide. Maybe
Right.
there was a gun there. Maybe there wasn't a gun there. I don't know. 3 shell casings. They obviously each got one at least.
He got 2. She got 1
Okay.
so far.
So well, then he didn't commit suicide.
No,
And
they said they ruled murder suicide
yeah, I
out.
know. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying is.
Right.
So we've covered Ohio, Utah, Minnesota. What do they all have in common?
They ain't here. They're not North
Besides
Carolina.
that, yeah, cold weather. Maybe it's affecting their
You know,
minds up there.
the thing is, generally speaking, we used to always look at when it was really hot outside and sticky and muggy. That's when everybody went crazy because
irritable.
everybody got out and just tried to be idiots.
That's why I like the cooler weather. Heat
I-
makes me irritable. How about you? Oh, don't even answer.
if they got, I'd just call the fire department in the wintertime when it gets nice and cold. I'd sprinkle the area down. They go home because they're going to be wet and cold shortly.
It's just
Right?
every
Think about it.
single.
Just equip every police car with a 50-gallon water tank and a
See if
pressure.
there's anything happening
hose.
right now in
Wet
Minnesota.
them down. Well, y'all go home in a minute.
Every single day is we
You'll
come in
freeze
here
in
with a
place.
story of something crazy that has happened.
There's just too many.
somewhere.
Well, you're not going to get any uncrazy stories happening because everything's going on. It's crazy.
Well, why not? Why can't we have a story every now and then that says,
Okay, let me give you a good
"Hey,
one
it's
then.
a fun day in
It's
Jacksonville"?
a fun day in Jacksonville. We're not in Russia. The seizure of a Russian-linked oil tanker in the North Atlantic
yes.
has highlighted worry among NATO and Nordic Baltic governments over dark fleet vessels and the type of crews on board. Our military and the Coast Guard boarded the Marinera between Iceland and the UK yesterday as it operated under deceptive shipping practices, including flying a false flag and violating sanctions. You might be in international waters, but there's some rules out there in the international waters that you're going to have to obey. And when you got strange people walking around your ship, this is supposed to be just a normal type of shipping operation, and you got people there that do not look like normal people that are aboard a tanker.
Rayford, weren't they flying a Russian flag?
I don't know which
I
flag.
think they said they were flying a
well,
Russian one, weren't
Flying
they?
a false flag anyway, whatever it was.
I'm like, of all the places to pick.
Russian authorities demanded the humane treatment and repatriation of the crew members. Well, yeah, we're not Russia. They will be treated humanely.
Right.
Russia knows how bad they treat people, so maybe they just assume we would do the same thing. No. The Marinera's ownership says the vessel they just sold it to a Russian company. That would be a good story. That would be a great story.
We just sold it. We haven't had a time to take our flags
Here's
down yet.
the facts, though. The Marinera did have its ownership transferred to a newly formed Russian company with the registered ownership manager and commercial manager being Russian. This is Russian nationals aboard the ship, sailors and seafarers, they call them. Those are other people aboard the boat. The guys carrying the military weapons aboard the boat.
keep on, and gas will be 39 cents a gallon for long.
Yeah, we keep seizing them. We can, my boat.
Free
I still
gas.
got a boat. Let me, y'all want to go take a ride? Let's go seize one of those ships. We'll tow it back to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
We can get it through the bridge.
Wow.
If not, y'all gonna have to build a new bridge.
I think people fail to realize that what, at least I feel, is what President Trump did. He has cut off the Russian supply of oil through Venezuela,
Yep.
which is sanctioned oil.
Yep.
And it's going to put a hurting on Putin.
Yep. According to Homeland Security,
He said, go fill up the lawnmower.
this is a Venezuelan shadow fleet vessel. It had already transported sanctioned oil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It did not have a flag, a legitimate flag,
Mhm.
and it had a judicial seizure order.
Yep.
So we were told we can have that boat. So now we got another boat in our fleet. God. That's why the crew will be subject to prosecution. They're going to prosecute unless some members of that crew go say, whoa. I got a family back in Moscow.
Jumping ship.
Oh, help me out. Can we make a deal? I've seen it on TV how you make deals with people who roll over. Yeah, we make deals with the first person who rolls over, who wants to be first. Hey, me.
Now I'd be jumping ship.
Guarantee you they're going to be really out there.
Yeah. Whatever it took.
It's kind of cold up there
Hey.
in between Iceland and Great Britain. That's chilly water.
Yeah.
That's called the North Atlantic for a reason. It's
There's
cold.
people who swim in it, but not for long.
27 seconds.
Don't they do those Polar Express dips up there?
It's a dip.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they get one shot at it. The Dark Fleet crews apparently are often multinational, okay, involving a Russian master. That's what they call the big boss on the boat, with Chinese, Indian, or Filipino crew members.
Must be the interpreter on that ship.
This is going to be interesting. We need to tow that thing back here. I want to see it.
Well, what I heard was the president's going to put the oil up for bid
Yes,
to whoever wants it, and then the
I'll give
money.
him $1 a gallon.
But the oil will then the profits of it will go towards some will go to Venezuela to help the people there, and I guess to help the people in the other countries who are going to bid on this oil. It's
I say,
I would just real quickly, people, if you observe the 98%, whatever that Democratic following is, 98% correct, or some of these other Democratic ones, and that's what you're going to post. You really should you're wasting your time posting someone else's thoughts when they're not your thoughts. You're copying someone else's, and you don't have the facts. Someone posted last night about Mrs. Maduro because she showed up in court with a bandage on a bruise and stuff.
Oh, we didn't do it.
But when the truth came out from reliable media sources,
what? There's those?
it was allegedly that
Good.
when her and the president were trying to run to escape,
She ran into a wall.
there you go.
That's always a classic story,
That's
right,
what-
Rayford? Ran right into a wall.
They did. They both hit their heads on something.
Mm-hmm.
Time and
You
again
know.
and again.
But then when
A nice stick.
but you're going to be led to believe that law enforcement, I guess, used the rubber hose with something in it. And
They don't need to. They got them in tow. They
Yeah.
got the goods. What else do you need from them? You don't need to ask them not one question. You've already got it.
That's right.
Good God. Yes. to me, and I know there's going to be, we got at least one of our guys here going to disagree, but all those guys that we kept down there in Gitmo, Guantanamo Bay,
Yeah.
How much information did we get from them?
I'm not sure we got any.
Why even bring them back here? You could bring them halfway if you want. They did that with a Bin Laden, but I have you. There's no reason to keep people like that for 15, 20 years. Either turn them loose or kill them. If you don't have grounds to keep them, you can't prove anything on them that they're terrorists. That if you've got probable cause that they're terrorists, then you try them accordingly and do it right away. Don't keep them around here for all this time. How much money, how many millions of dollars could they reduce my taxes by? We got a lot of stuff we could use that money for, honestly.
Amen. Well, I've got a crazy story for you right here out of North Carolina, but it's time for Papa Top. Should be calling any minute. So
I'm saving
I'm
my
gonna hold
pop.
off.
Do you have a question for him about one of my favorite, Carolina basketball?
Thank you. That's what it's probably the same question I have. So you take it.
Oh, I don't
away.
have a question about
He
it.
was saying you've got the question.
I mean,
He was reading your mind
They
this
lost.
morning.
They lost, so they're 1-1 in conference, but
Whoops.
there he is
Well,
right now.
there he is.
So let me.
There you go.
Ready?
Chris.
We're going to do a cue here, okay? On the count of ready? 3, 2, 1.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, you got Kathy on the other line. So, Kathy, if you're listening,
morning,
hold on.
everybody.
There's
Good
your
morning.
cue. I knew you would get it.
Good morning, my friends. How's everybody doing this nice and cool Thursday morning?
We're doing good, Chris.
Nice. It's
How about
nice
you?
out.
Doing good. So, hope everybody had a good Christmas, New Year holiday, and start the 2026 refreshed and re-energized. How about that?
We are.
We're good.
Oh yeah, we're counting down the days to football, to high school
Football.
football.
I had them counted down the other day. What was it? August, 7 months, 7.5 months to go before first game.
Well, Rafer, we need to get you out to some basketball games. And,
I know that. I've
maybe-
got to get out there. It's been a little difficult though.
and then maybe some wrestling matches. I mean, I think you enjoy seeing some wrestling.
No, I don't want to see any wrestling. I do want to see some wrestling. I love to see wrestling. I only seen a couple of wrestling
I like it
matches.
too.
Oh, that's right. It's Lee that loves her.
She's
some
the
wrestling.
wrestlers.
Yeah,
She loves acting,
Yeah,
No,
Hey.
she loves Roman Reigns. That's it.
Well, she would like to wrestle with
Give
Roman.
her 2 hours of Roman Reigns. She's happy.
I'll take all I can get of him.
Okay, Chris, you ever been down to New Orleans, Chris?
No, I've never been to New Orleans. No.
They got some wrestling matches down there.
Are the alligators?
No. It's called mud wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you see,
Some
that's
of
what
it's Jell-O.
you into mud wrestling.
Hold on, Kathy.
Yeah, I just sent her a message.
Rafer, didn't you say you're into Jello wrestling? Is that
No,
what you
I said that they have Jello wrestling. They got mud wrestling. They got all sorts of weird stuff there in the French Quarter.
Yeah, they do. I ran into one once.
How do we get to mud wrestling?
Well, because
I don't know, Rafer. What have you been watching late at night?
Nothing. I've been down in New Orleans.
And
I've been there a couple
that's what
times.
I'm saying. Well, we want to talk about local lacrosse in just a minute, but first I want to ask you, there was a lot of controversy, wasn't it, over the Tar Heels
Losing again.
going. Would you stop? They've won more than State has, haven't they, Chris?
yep.
Thank you. Yeah, but I see that they were they're in the March Madness. Yeah, and some people were saying that it was. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you know what I'm saying is that there was a question as to
No
how
idea.
they were able to get into March Madness this year.
Oh,
There was
last
some
year.
controversy over it.
Well, that was last year. They
No,
got
I'm
it.
looking at it. This story right here.
There is no March Madness yet. No, that was last year's. How they
Yeah, that was last year.
how they qualified versus some other teams, and it is it comes down to this, right?
Well,
Chris,
this
it comes
story
down to
does
the
not say
committee.
it was last year. So anyway, but now what I wanted to ask you, what I really wanted to ask you is that I don't know if this was just garbage on social media because some of these sports sites, I didn't see Chris put anything on his X about this, but was there some controversy over one of the basketball games? Was it last week with Carolina? Something about the refs and they were all suspended or something? Is there any truth to that?
I don't.
I think it was fake news.
That doesn't ring a bell. I mean, I know there's fans are gonna
Right.
if you're a referee, you're never gonna make anybody happy, and especially Rafer Brown. I know he doesn't like those high school football referees.
Yeah.
But look, it is a thankless job. We're all humans. We all make mistakes, and if you try to get better, then I can accept that. It's just we do have some really good referees here at the local level. We have some ones that are not so good, but again, they're not getting paid too much. They're doing it for the love of the sport. So I think in terms of especially the local ones, I mean, you can't play the local games without the referees. So I just don't like it. I mean, it really bothers me when you have adults, at a let's say a high school basketball game or whatever, berating, belittling, a referee, and I'm like, you are talking to another human being, and I've never understood why another adult. I mean, we don't like it for the kids to do it, but that's our opportunity to teach our young kids. Hey, watch what you say, watch how you act. But I've never understood how adults you wouldn't talk to somebody like that out in public like that. So what makes you think you have the right to talk to an official like that? So I think people sometimes we get too emotional, but we need to kind of calm down. And it's okay to get frustrated over a call, but let's refrain from verbal abuse.
As long as they don't stop me from stealing the yellow flags.
These are all old
Chris,
stories.
I be honest with you, being an official and having done high school games and junior high and all the way down into rec league, I used to referee.
Yeah.
Oh, of course you did.
I did. No, and I mean, you try to tune them out the best you
Yes.
can. What it comes down to is, and as you know, because you're close to the end lines, you're close to the sidelines, and you're all over the place. The official has a better view of what's going on than that person sitting up at the top, top in the stands and stuff. And are officials going to get it right all the time? No. Are we going to make mistakes? Yes. But at the end of the day, you don't really have a preference on who wins or who loses. You just want to play a clean game, as clean as you can, and the best team will come out winning. Simple as that.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And like I said, a lot of these ladies and gentlemen are just doing it for the love of the sport, to stay active. And so, we ran into a shortage of officials for some time because people got tired of a lot of folks retired and quit doing it because they got tired of the abuse. And you can take a certain amount from the head coach. And I talked to officials, and they said, look, if a head coach who doesn't really bellyache over this, over that, or during the course of the game, if he's kind of giving me the business for a couple of minutes because maybe I did get it wrong, I'm going to give him the benefit, and I'm going to let him bite my head off for a couple of minutes, because if he's bellyaching now, that means he's probably right. So he probably has a good reason to. But there's coaches out there that just bellyache about everything, and it does get a little old, and it does. I'm like, all right, guys, I know it's emotional, but let's calm down. So, I mean, that's a message to coaches, players, and fans, parents, supporters. I mean, again, we want our teams to win, but and it's okay not to like the call and maybe roll our eyes, but let's refrain from
talking about
the verbal abuse and just because again, you want to go out there at at Walmart or the mall or society and start saying somebody start using 4-letter words and things like that. So but what things you can do it at a high school basketball or football or soccer game?
Rayford, he could see us rolling our eyes all the way from the 50-yard line.
You're absolutely right. When adults, you may be classified as an adult because of your age, but your attitude is the way you really become an adult, and your performance, the way you act, the way you show yourself, the carry yourself. That's what makes you an adult. Otherwise, you're just an old fogey at any age.
Well, Chris,
Yeah,
those
exactly.
stories,
And so-
I almost sent you that story when I saw it come out the first of the week. I wish I had, because I had a feeling that it was one of those spam stories, but I saw it several different allegedly news, sports news.
It was. I know which game you're talking about. You're talking about Notre Dame and California. And what happened is
No, this was a Carolina game. It was a Carolina game, and now that I can't find anything on it, so it must have been one of those spam stories.
But California was playing Notre Dame in California. Notre Dame was trying to get a foul call because they were up by 3. Long story short, the Notre Dame coach went chasing after the official, and he later apologized. You get caught up in the emotions.
This one that I read said that the calls were so bad on Carolina that every single one of the refs had been suspended pending investigation. I'm like, what? And I was trying to find, because I
hadn't heard that one.
I hadn't heard that one either.
but there was 2 different news stories I saw.
Was it news or
And
was
I
it social
almost sent
media?
it to you, Chris, but I didn't want to bother you on the weekend. And I thought I'd
Oh,
ask
no.
you about it.
Yeah, so that doesn't ring a bell, but like I said, these are and more of the local level. Like I said, these these ladies, guys and ladies are doing it because they want to stay active, and and once you get to the college and pro levels, again, no excuse for verbally abusing a human being, but
Right.
those folks are getting paid a little bit more. And so they do get. They are judged a little bit harsher, and if they make mistakes, I think they do. If they make severe mistakes, then I think they should be held accountable. Because the coaches are held accountable, the players are held accountable if they show their rear end. So, but I think if you're getting paid that much money to do that, then I think there should be accountability. But as far as the local level, these people are not getting paid that much. So let's give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. And if you want to help, continue local sports, and I advise other people to start taking referee classes and getting involved.
Yes, absolutely.
It won't be me.
They're not difficult once you get the rules down and you get a little experience and you start down in the JV ladies, the JV boys, and you work your way up. Like everything, you work your way up until you get to do some of the other games. But talking about the fans, Chris, Robert Patterson was mentioning, because I asked him one time about the fans at Cardinal Stadium that sit in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure, Chris, you've seen them. They're close to the concession stands. Maybe that's a coincidence, but they just like the view from the end zone.
Potty, okay.
Closest.
He said when UNC loses, there's always the refs. The refs.
Oh.
Hey, Chris, I will. I will say this: you've done officiating, and I will say this about the fans and everything. Can they come up with different things to say to the referees if they are going to say them? But for 20, 30, 40 years, is call it both ways, ref. They say that is the one. Call it both ways. I'm like, can you come up with something more original?
Yeah.
Chris, these are the same people that get stopped up on Interstate 40 for speeding 79 miles per hour. And they tell the highway patrolman, well, this one guy get right by me at 85.
I've had 13 other people fly by me.
He said, but I didn't catch them. The ref, you talked about it. The ref is out there on the field, up close and personal, but he has got a peripheral field of view. Period. Bottom line, it's less than 180 degrees in most points. What happens directly behind him, you don't see. That's what the other ref is out there for. You may see a guy kicking another dude. You may miss him, and the other ref catches him. So that's why they got refs everywhere.
I say this not because Chris is my friend, and we've been to games
earlier.
a lot through the years. Yeah, in reality, if an official were to call every single offense
Oh God.
A game would never Chris, would a game ever end?
No,
It would.
the game,
Continue next
and,
week.
and we have some really good officials, football, basketball, that that try to let the kids play, but they'll talk to them. Hey, all right, guys, I'm gonna let you do A, B, and C, but don't take advantage of it. Don't take it for granted. I'm gonna give you an inch. Don't take a mile. So in terms of like physical play and things like that, don't let them. If a kid scores a touchdown, don't let them. Jump around and kind of celebrate for a few moments, but don't go overboard and show your rear end. So we have a lot of officials that just use common sense, let the kids have fun. High school kids in particular are gonna talk back and forth. Hey, in your face, I just made a shot over you, or take that. And that's competitive nature. That's fine. Just don't like I said, if the referee gives you an inch, don't take a mile. Let you just have fun with it and go forward. And I think we have a lot of referees who just let common sense prevail, and everybody has a good time. And then we shake hands at the end, which I think is so important. Sportsmanship has been an issue in sports the last several years, so we need to continue monitoring that. But shake hands at the end, and then go your separate directions, and everybody had a good time.
Well, Chris, have you ever known a ref to get thrown out of a game?
Yet.
I've never seen a
It
ref
would
in a high school game get kicked out. I've seen a referee maybe get hit and wasn't able to finish the game because he got tackled or he got injured.
Wow.
I've seen that. Or maybe get sick and not feeling well and couldn't continue. I've seen that before. But I've never seen one that just do the referee say, "Hey, look, we don't need you. Get out of here." I've never seen that.
Yeah, they take a lot of abuse and heat, and I don't think I could be a ref because the first time somebody came after me like that, I think by the end of the evening, I'd be like, "You can kiss my, basketball, whatever."
You'd be hitting them with a yellow flag, wouldn't you?
They'd be throwing the yellow flag on me.
We talk football, basketball, being an umpire as well. When you're behind the plate, you catch it.
Yeah,
And you just have to zone it out. You have to zone it out.
Especially if the pitcher's mad at you for a previous call, you better be careful.
Can't you see anything, you blind man? Oh yeah.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned baseball umpires because a lot of the referees for different sports and the umpires know who I am. So there's certain rules about like media being on the field and everything. So I always try to kind of talk to them before. Hey, I'm with the JDN, and if I don't get mad at this team if I have a foot outside the dugout and everything. And but I always tell the baseball umpires before the game. I said, "All right, guys, call a lot of strikes. Anything that's close is an out. We're not trying to be here for 4 hours." And they get a good chuckle, and they don't want to be there for 4 hours either. They want to do a good job and make sure the game's played and call it fairly. But they don't want to be there for 4 hours, especially if it's early in the season, February, when it's still cold outside. I mean, that's not too fun being at a baseball game when it's and you start a game at 7 o'clock and it's starting to get cold. I mean, it's still cold outside.
So, Chris, right now, high school basketball, who's in the county? Who's looking the best?
Well, we had the Alonzo County Classic basketball tournament last week at Northside and all 8 public schools. And congratulations to the White Oak Vikings for winning the tournament.
Go Vikings!
Yeah, they defeated Northside in the championship game. So this was the annual the 20th the 20th annual. Yes, this is when you can use annual.
Okay, Chris.
This was the 20th annual Christmas tournament, holiday Christmas tournament for the county that we've had, and the Vikings defeated the Monarchs of Northside in the championship game. But great game and great crowds during the 3 days, and now we move forward the rest of the season, and then we'll see how teams do in the playoffs come February and March.
All right,
that's great.
We're already about halfway through.
I know it. Closer to football. How it's doing?
Lacrosse is in the spring. Boys and girls lacrosse is in the spring. Yep. So they'll start. I'm sure a lot of those teams have already started kind of doing their workouts.
I'm just way off on sports this morning.
They'll start official practice in mid-February, and probably start their games a couple weeks later, and then before you know it, we'll start talking about lacrosse more, and baseball, and girls soccer, and softball, and we'll see how these teams do in the spring once the weather warms up a little bit.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought somebody was talking about lacrosse the other day.
Basketball and wrestling in the wintertime because they're indoor sports.
Yeah. Well, look.
And volleyball. Am I right, Chris? Is volleyball going on right now?
I would love to do
No,
that.
the high school volleyball is in the fall. Can you imagine the swim teams swimming outside? I don't think that'd be.
I see where I got confused now. Okay.
Well, no, nothing.
Wow.
Well, Chris, you
But
can.
they do, and I've always thought this was kind of silly. And this is not, this is not throwing shade at anybody. This is having a little fun. But we do have what they call winter track and field. It used to be called, and they still on the state level, the state championships, they still call it the indoor track and field championships. But the track coaches will call it winter track because we all got tired. They all got tired of us in the media calling it indoor track and field competed outside. So they got tired of that, but they practice outside, during their running events and jumping events and pole vault and everything. But once they get into the state championships, they'll they actually have them in on a fast track inside and Winston-Salem that for the state championship. So there's indoor track and field.
Well, I've been just a failure at sports today, so let's talk
That's what
bowling.
Well, no, you were very good at the sport you cover, Roman Reigns.
Well,
NASCAR starts up
wrestling
next month,
considered-
so watch out.
Okay.
Is wrestling considered a sport?
Wrestling.
It's
or
physical.
wrestling?
Yeah, wrestling.
It's physical.
Wrestling is
Let's get physical.
worldwide entertainment.
Physical.
Yeah, and you mentioned NASCAR. I mean,
That's right.
I swear, I think I've lost interest in NASCAR for the last several years. For one, you can't find
What
they
channel
don't
is
promote
on?
it anymore. Yeah, what channel? I remember they used to be on maybe NBC or ABC, and they all the races would start at like
1
on a
o'clock,
Sunday
2
at 1
o'clock,
o'clock, and
right.
then they started going like the Saturday night races, which I think
I love this Saturday night.
a lot of people didn't like, and then now they start the races at 4 or 5 o'clock on a Sunday. And I'm like,
Mainly 3 o'clock. Most of the time, 3 o'clock. And it's stretched out. Depends. If it's real close to us, you can pick it up on NBC. But they've gone to Peacock. They've gone to Netflix. They've gone to USA. You never know what channel it's going to be on. And then they just got finished with a huge lawsuit that Michael Jordan took out against NASCAR, which that was all settled because him and Denny Hamlin were trying to claim that NASCAR had put a monopoly on all the teams. And then in the midst of all that, Steve Phelps, who was commissioner for NASCAR, ended up resigning from his position because some of the tweets that he sent out regarding some of the team owners come out in court. And so anyway, it's just, I wish they'd go back to the old days. The old days.
yeah, I wish. Well, and to me, NASCAR is always going to be called the Winston Cup to me.
Yes.
But now it went to Nextel Cup one year, and then
The Sprint
then it became,
Cup.
I don't even.
Right.
Yeah, but it's always going to be. And I grew up. It was called the Winston Cup.
Yes.
And, those are the good days with Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon when he was the Rainbow Warrior. So those were some good times.
Right. Good times. Well,
Chris, you're still the best
Yeah, you are the
sports
best.
editor in North Carolina.
You're
That's
our guy.
right. we brag about you.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'll mail you guys a few bucks for the kind words.
Thank you.
Yeah, we do appreciate it.
And get my podcast partner Steve Goodson on the radio on the show
Trying.
one day. I mean,
What
Raver, he lives a hop, skip, and a jump away from you.
I know, but kidnapping is illegal.
Yeah, I think he's sleeping right now.
Yeah, I can't keep up with the show times anymore. Thank goodness I have y'all on a direct alert because
Yeah.
it's kind of all over the place right now. But I do get alerts, and usually by the time I look at my alerts, it's halfway. I go back and watch it though. I do.
Well, we went back to doing yesterday the Wednesday at 12.
The
The
Downey's
reason why we
Prep.
were doing
Yeah.
a couple different days, Mondays and Tuesdays, it was during the holidays, and
Yeah.
we wanted to different people had different schedules for the holidays. So, but going forward, we will go back to doing our Wednesdays at noon.
Okay, gotcha. Very good.
You know, if you will, when you call Steve one day, just run by and say, "Hey, you need to take a ride with me."
Tom check his email.
and pick him up at about 7:15 one morning, and just say, "Hey, we got to take a quick ride. I got something to show you."
I still would love
And
to
then don't
have.
tell him what it is, and just drive up to his driveway and blow the horn, and let him come on out, and then he come on down here. You know how to get here.
Yeah,
He does
Yep,
too.
we can. I will tell him to walk over to your house and knock on. Come in and
He can bring his dog.
Bring some biscuits.
He used to walk a couple of dogs in the mornings.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Well, I sent him an email.
Yeah.
I did not follow up on it, so I'll follow up on it today.
Okay. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you so much. It's
Uh,
we always look forward to it.
No, thank you for the opportunity as always. I'm glad you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you guys next week.
You got it.
Eventually, we'll have the inaugural Chris Miller Award.
Yeah.
Inaugural.
Is it going to be a 6-pack? Okay.
Oh gosh.
Bye, Chris.
Glad it's
Chris.
Chris's
Have a
time.
good one, guys.
You too.
Before
Bye-bye.
I leave, because I've got to get
Yeah,
Kathy
you do.
down because of this critter.
Critter.
Yeah, have
She-
you noticed our new squirrel?
Yeah, that's
Now, Chris, Kathy needs to be calling us back now because she was trying to call. When
she says she didn't get the call back because she's getting ready for me to pick her up.
well, she's got time.
All right, Kathy, give the call, and I'll let you tell Rayford and Lee what you found out from the VA concerning the Veterans Cemetery
Oh, really? Okay.
here in Onslow County. But
Don't get me started this morning. Am I going to get?
no, I don't think you're
Here
going to
we
get. I don't think you're going to get started. But I'm going to give her a few seconds, and I want to
Robert,
remind everybody
Pepper
Good.
spray.
that on next Saturday, a week from this Saturday at 9
That's
o'clock.
right.
17th,
Is-
I think it is.
Yes, 17th. That is the National Wreaths Across America
Pick them up.
day that we're going to retire those wreaths. And that means we pick them up from the cemetery grave sites. Onslow Memorial Park, 9 o'clock. You have a trailer. We could use you out there. If you want to take the one for your family member, you're more than welcome to. You're welcome to take the ribbon. You take the whole wreath if you want. If you have goats, contact me if you want to get a certain amount. Because
So many jokes here. Go ahead.
well, there's a gentleman that lives down the road. He's going to take all of them if nobody wants any,
great.
because he has 5 goats,
Oh, nice.
and
Oh, a lot of goat food.
it's a lot of goat food. But they'll go
Is
through
he
it real
fattening
quick.
those goats up for a purpose?
No, I think it's just I went out and fed them once.
Curry
They're
goats,
very
good.
Yeah, they're interesting animals. But since Kathy's not calling, I'll say she heard from the VA that the Veteran Cemetery here has received $811,000 for expansion.
Really?
Yes.
Excellent.
Where they're going to find the land, I don't know.
What's behind them? Do you think that maybe there's land available there?
My understanding on the history was the land belonged to the city who sold it to the county, who sold it to the state. So I'm not sure how much land it was actually, because it's all part of Montford Point, which
Yep.
was government land. So I'm not sure how much farther they can expand without getting into housing areas.
Well, you know.
Maybe tear some of those old houses down.
Yeah.
There are some houses in Onslow County that could be torn down, but I don't know about it in that area because
Yeah, I know.
if you start going further towards New Bridge Street, there's businesses and houses and stuff. So I don't know, but anyway, that's what she would like me to have passed along to you.
Okay, very good.
Thank
I'll
you.
pass
Thank
it
you,
along.
Hi,
Kathy.
Kathy, and
Thank
I've got little fuzzy tail over here. And the first thing my dog did this morning, when my dog saw me walking with this fuzzy tail, I said, "Look at this Shockwave," and he grabbed it. And he chases squirrels every day. That the squirrels in the backyard. That is his mission in life. Has been ever since we've had him, to keep the backyard clear of squirrels.
Well, I told Kathy what you told me to tell her.
Which part?
Fatten them up.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And what you were going to do.
Well,
What's
what
that?
else would you do with them?
She knows now.
Squirrel and rice. It's like chicken and rice.
I'll never forget
But
time
leaner.
my dad went hunting and brought back squirrel. My mom cooked it, and like there was an eyeball floating in the gravy. That's all I can remember being young.
No,
And I was like,
wow.
never again, never
Yeah.
again. Do not talk to me, as Steve called it, about
Yeah.
squirrel stew.
Steve's calling about squirrel stew.
I don't know, but I said, just don't ever talk to me about it.
Okay. Well, I wish I
have-
could stay for Steve.
I have
Well, you have-
nightmares
You have a
from
good
that.
trip. Be
I
careful.
will. We head down.
Yes, please be
down
careful going to Wilmington.
Thank you. See y'all tomorrow.
Let us know how
Don't let
things
Kathy
go.
drive.
Yeah, I will let you know. It's got to get better.
Yes,
There you go.
yes.
Y'all have a blessed day.
You too.
You too. Steve, have you ever had any squirrel and rice?
Yes, I have.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
It ain't the worst thing I ever ate.
Well, okay.
And I only say that because of who prepared it. I would
gotcha.
not say it was prepared at it to its best, ability or whatever. But
You got, first of all, the best thing to do is parboil that squirrel first. When you
Yeah.
go ahead and boil them first, and then you cook it.
Yeah.
Cook the squirrel, and then you add it to the rice, and the rice needs to be a little juicier than normal.
Can we
a
just
little
move
lot
on
of
to
butter
hot dogs?
and I love
hamburgers or
onions with it.
something?
Then it becomes almost
Yeah.
squirrel stew and rice.
onions make everything better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
First, my uncle, late uncle said, because he was a boat captain and he cooked on the
Onions
boat
and
all the
garlic.
time, and he said, what's the recipe that? He says, first you take an onion. It didn't matter what it was. First you take an onion, start with the onion and go from there. So, I've used that one a lot, and that's the way I cook too.
Oh
Onions and
yeah.
garlic.
Yeah, my dad told me one time years ago. He said, "I'm glad you don't like bacon." What do you mean? I don't want you to be cooking cakes because it's going to have onions in it if you cook a cake. I don't want it. So,
Yeah, I tell you, one of my favorite things is a pot of beans with about a half a pack of Lipton onion soup mix.
oh, that's good.
It really spices them up.
That's not a bad way to start. You know what? That could be very good this morning. I bet I got some Lipton onion mix in there too.
I might have to do that too. I got some butter beans in the freezer. It's just begging to be cooked.
I just found some. I found some field peas in the freezer last night. Oh yeah. That I know where there's a ham bone.
There's a ham bone in there too.
Uh-huh.
I hear you.
Still has some.
What's
ham
going on, Steve?
Oh, not a whole lot. Another beautiful day in paradise.
Yeah, down there near your work areas. That sun coming up this morning must have been absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is. It's still pretty. And I think we just cracked 50 degrees on the thermometer out there. So
Oh, okay.
it's coming on up too. Hey, I want to share something with you. I don't know if you heard this yet or not, Rayford. I told y'all yesterday I was kind of perplexed over Greenland, and after finding out about that treaty, what possibly could would be the difference of us owning it. And I found something interesting. I don't know if it's actually the reason or not. The only thing we can't do in Greenland is drill for oil. In 2021, Greenland banned any new oil exploration, and the permits and leases that the oil companies held on the existing wells expires in 27 and 28. And for the life of me, that's the only thing I can find that would be different. As I looked at that treaty, I found out that we can build bases there at will. Maybe
Right.
if we want,
Yeah, I got that.
we don't even have to ask them about it. We can go there and build 10 military bases if we want. So,
Well, they would actually like it. That would enhance their economy.
well, I was going to say, from a strategic standpoint, we can do anything we want except for drill for oil. So
And
it makes me curious if that's the motivation.
and we cannot tax the people either.
True for that, but I mean, the amount of people that's there, and I don't see that as a huge source of revenue. But they don't even, equal our smallest state. So.
Not that I would like the oil thing to be any reason for us to want Greenland. But if I was to think about it, it's a little bit like my dad here. This place is this lot that this home was built on. He bought the piece of property next door to it too. He said, nobody's ever going to build there in my lifetime because I'm not going to sell it to anybody until my daughter came along and she needed a house, and he built her a house there. But he says, I want to control who's going to be there. Now, if our government was like, we don't want somebody else for if Greenland remains Greenland, we don't want somebody else to go in there and make them a deal so that they can get the oil from there. Because, you don't know what future generations are going to bring. Future governments.
And I acknowledge that logic. But what they're actually trying to do is to stop all oil drilling.
Well, that's the way it is right now.
Right. And so I don't know. To me, their urgency tied with that is suspicious. I ain't gonna go as far as out on the limb to say that that's their reasoning, but
I can't come up with a reason, to be honest with you. I just can't.
I couldn't, and when I seen that, I mean, that's like I say, that's the only thing we technically can't do. Mm-hmm. That would have a strategic implication. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. We'll see, but that's like I say. Any other reason? You can't find one. Yeah. So I don't know. Another thing I wanted to speak on was the Minnesota officer or agent involved shooting yesterday. Mm-hmm. I believe technically the officer was justified. But I think it's going to be problematic for him in state court. The Minnesota district attorney is the one that's going to decide at the state level if it was justified or not. And there's already some issues I believe they're going to have with it. The officer that actually fired, if you go back and look at the video, they were already standing there engaging with her and a couple other people when that gray pickup pulled up. The eyewitnesses and the other videos show that the agent that fired the shots was already telling them to move their cars. You can see one gray SUV kind of sped away in front of the lady before she started to move. Mm-hmm. The pickup pulled up at that time, and those agents got out and started telling her to get out of her car.
Yep.
At that point, they were giving conflicting commands. One agent had told them to move their car. Now there's other agents telling her to exit the car. I think she should have exited the car, guys. But when the Democratic DA takes it, if they decide to take it to court, they're probably not going to see it that way. They're going to see conflicting commands. And then the officer shot, there's reports say 2 times, other reports say 3 times, but you can clearly see that he fires through the side window once he steps to the side and is no longer in the path of the vehicle. Mm. That's going to be problematic. I'm not saying whether that was right or wrong. I don't know enough about it to know, but I do believe that's going to be problematic.
In the world of self-defense, for law enforcement self-defense, that is not problematic.
I say it's problematic because of where this is going to be.
It's not going to be. It won't be tried like that. It's not going to be tried in the first place.
It won't be tried in state. Okay. Won't it go to federal?
Yeah, it's the federal government's taking over. The FBI is in charge of this investigation.
Right.
They are in charge of the investigation. Yes. That's at the federal level, but you can be charged at the state level, even if the federal government clears you.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And I already looked it up. Federal agents are not immune from prosecution.
I understand, but good luck.
I get it. I ain't saying that they're just. I ain't saying they're right or wrong. I'm just my opinion on how I think this is going to play out.
If the U.S. Attorney General or federal agents they come up and say this is a justified shooting, there is probably, I can't think of any district state court of the land that's going to try to go up against it, even Minnesota.
I would say do an internet search on that, and it's not unusual.
I'm not going to.
It's not as unusual as I did, and I didn't realize that it was. That it happens.
There will be people that
I thought that they would.
There will be people who will try to do something like that for political reasons, and they will become so obvious that.
And I also think that it's worth mentioning that this was a mile from the George Floyd incident. So I believe those people in that area are going to be more sensitive to this situation than some would.
Oh, they're already out there right now
or wrong.
watching a video of them live.
See what?
I said I'm watching a live video of them right now in Minnesota out at the scene protesting. They're already out.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I hope they do it peacefully if they're going to do it. We'll see how that plays out. And just like one person doesn't represent a whole group, if there's somebody in these protests that steps out of line, then Minnesota needs to put handcuffs on and take them away. Yeah, that's the reason why I say I don't really want to pass judgment on the officer in that incident. I believe that the first shot they fired, it's reasonable to say that maybe they expected that lady was going to run them over. They couldn't see that she had turned her tires all the way. That was out of the view of the officer. But I also think that, a DA will go in there and talk about the second and third shot being excessive. I ain't saying that's true, but I see that argument.
That will get him laughed out of every courtroom in the country.
Right. Well,
maybe not in Minnesota court, though, guys.
It doesn't matter. They train as a double and triple taps.
So you go back and watch a video. The agent did not even unholster his gun until that SUV started moving towards him. So there's a lot there.
I've seen that as well. But like I say, I think it's going to be a complication that he had already told the lady to move her car, and then she got a conflicting command from a different agent.
No.
That's the kind of things that DAs and attorneys tend to focus on.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. Yeah. We'll see.
But anyway, that was kind of my thoughts on it. I think it's kind of a terrible situation. I don't have no answer for it. I don't know how to, necessarily do it better.
Well, the agent's not celebrating. You can rest assured he did not celebrate last night. He will never celebrate for the rest of his life.
No.
So
and
he did his job.
There was also a doctor on the scene that wanted to render assistance, and they didn't allow them to render assistance. And I ain't saying that's right or wrong, but it took 15 minutes for the paramedics to get there.
Well, I think
that's
from
something
what
else they're gonna bring up.
From what Christy Noem said last night was the officer went and checked on her, and she was already deceased, and they were keeping people away from the scene. I don't know.
I understand that, but like I say, I'm looking at it from how they're going to trying to eat these people alive over this. Is that they're going to say that he's not a medical professional, and there was one standing there and they refused access.
I've seen that.
I ain't saying that's what they're going to do, but I mean, they're going to come after this guy. All them Democrats in Minnesota. It's a Democrat governor, Democratic DA, Democratic mayor, and they're not happy about ICE being in their town.
Yeah, we know that.
They're going to come at it from a negative view, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, we'll see how it plays out. Prayers out to the woman's family and even to the officer and his family. He didn't go to work that day thinking that was the way it was going in, I'm sure.
Nope.
Yeah. So anyway, other than that, that was kind of my 2 cents.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Yeah, have a blessed day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See, that's the difference between those of us that have worked in a law enforcement field or been a law enforcement officer versus someone who has not. There was 3 elements there that were present to for deadly force to occur. That was opportunity, jeopardy, and ability. And she had all 3 that played into that. The decisions by the officer were split second. We're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. But Rayford, if you were standing in front of that vehicle and a person took it out of reverse, put it in forward and came at you, and you were that close, it's not like you could just jump out of the way without getting, what would you do?
First of all, let's just talk about jumping out of the way.
Right.
Trying to jump out of the way, you may jump into the path of wherever the car is turning.
That's right.
Which way do you go? And again, there's a split second. Can you wait? Can't you just wait another half second? Yeah. And then they can scrape me up and, put a toe tag on me and take me away, because that's all the time it takes. Firing 1, 2, 3, 5, 15 rounds, it doesn't really matter. It's not excessive unless somebody's laying there on the ground. You just start shooting at them on the ground.
Yes.
All right. And that gets to be ridiculous. But I will tell you, when you train and they go through this a lot, it depends upon who your training officers are and what their procedures are. Double tapping is a standard procedure. You fire 2 rounds at a person. You do not fire at a car. Shooting at a car is something you do not do. You can shoot into a car, but you're aiming at a person. Shooting at a car to stop a car is not proper police procedure,
Right.
except under really unusual circumstances. And, that I can't even go into those because I don't even want to discuss them because they're irrelevant. This case, he shot at the car's still continuing towards him. He stepped aside by that time, or she swerves, or whatever. She has tried to kill him. Do you let somebody like that continue driving? I don't know whether she was dead at the wheel or not at that time.
Right.
I don't know which bullets hit her. Don't
That's
know.
right.
That'll come out. I'm not even going to speculate. But do you let somebody leave who's just tried to kill you, whether it's with a car, a gun, an ice pick, or whatever? Do you let them drive away? No.
Yeah.
You take them down. They've already made their intentions known by driving a car towards you. That is attempted murder. That's period.
A lot of it's just going to have to play out, and we're going to have to see what is involved in
They
all
had
this.
an identical case in Wilmington. A Wilmington PD
Mhm.
officer, I don't know, it's been 20 years ago now. His name was Mike something. But anyway, he was standing in front of a car. It was a dope deal going bad for the guy that was driving the car. And he started towards the officer, a uniformed officer. He was there with the drug guys, uniformed officer. And the drivers aimed his car straight at him. He fired into the car. And then as the car goes by him, he continues shooting until the guy stops. He stops. He's dead, but he stops. So the threat is ended when he's out of commission, whether he's dead or whether he's just runs into whatever. What would you do? How would you stop that car? Would you just let it continue moving? Who else is out there? Other agents? How about people, bystanders? The woman was obviously out of control. You accelerate, and I don't know what kind of command she was given, when she was given commands. I do not know.
Maybe
I
through
don't
her
know.
mind, she
I'm
just
not reading
thought
the internet stuff.
if she
about it.
floored it, he would jump out of the way. Maybe
She
it was a
didn't.
miscalculation on her part.
I don't do those
Had
possibilities.
she just stopped her vehicle and gotten out, she would be alive to tell it today. Might have a few charges on her. She could fight him in court, whatever. But now she has no fight. None whatsoever. And I know Steve keeps saying that she was shot through the driver's side. window, but all indications right now is that she was shot through the driver's windshield on the driver's side. It was the windshield on the driver's
If he
side. So,
continues shooting as a car passed him,
right,
totally justified.
right. So we'll see how that plays out too. But tragic story, and I hate to see all the protests that it's going to cause people to get hurt.
And if the district attorney there thinks that he's going to, I don't believe that the district attorney wants to lose such a case, because
Right.
he will lose the case.
Right.
The federal government will take complete control over that one.
Oh yes, yes, they will take
And
control
he
over
can
it.
he can try. Yes,
Right.
if there is an obvious case where the federal government, or let's
Right.
just say Onslow County decides not to or the state decides not to prosecute something
Right.
that occurred in Onslow County involving a state trooper.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, if there was actual wrongdoing, then the Onslow County deputies could investigate and do that. That ain't going to happen.
Right, right. I know there was witnesses complaining that the ICE still had vehicles blocking the road, and the ambulance couldn't get all the way up to the scene. They had to get out on foot. But in a situation like that, and you've got a volatile crowd right there behind you, there's already been tragedy occurred. ICE officers, police officers are not going to stop what they're doing to go move their vehicles, because they're walking into the crowd that's being violent, the crowd that's being anti right now. They're not going to do it. EMS is going to find a way to get up there. No problem at all.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of
can
people
walk.
were saying that. Yeah. And a lot of people were saying that, well, there was medical on the scene. You don't know who these people are. Anybody could walk up and say, I'm a doctor. And then about the time they got up to you, pull a gun on you. You don't know. I mean, there's so many factors involved in what goes on.
If you have,
When you have
if you have
chaos.
nobody but the doctor standing there in a crowd that is under control,
Exactly.
different story.
That's right.
Anybody that steps up forward,
That's right.
I'm a doctor. Where are your credentials?
So,
You don't have time to do
I'm
that.
not saying who's right, who's wrong. I'm just saying is you have to look at the other side too, on the
When
side
they
of
see
the law
the
enforcement.
autopsy report, and it depends upon where this
Right.
woman was hit, you don't have to be a medically trained anybody to pronounce somebody dead in a lot of cases.
That's right. Yeah, and the medical examiner report is also going to give you an estimation on how close they were when this occurred. So a lot of facts are going to come out. But wow, I just pray and I hope that the people in Minnesota that feel like they need to protest
Get
do it
rational.
peacefully.
Just get
Don't
rational.
listen to your stupid governor or your mayor. Please be
They're
peaceful.
already losers. Let's talk about something good.
All right.
Let's go offshore today
Oh, wow.
and stay all night long until
Oh.
tomorrow. We could come back with so many fish that we would be cleaning them for the week.
Yes.
Out to 20 nautical
You'll
miles
be
today.
cleaning.
Don't tell marine fisheries I'll be cleaning fish for a week. That would be awful. Out to 20 nautical miles today. Northeasterly winds around 10 knots. Seas 2 feet. That's nothing.
That's nothing.
5 seconds apart. That's gentle rollers.
Mhm.
Sounds and rivers a light chop. Tomorrow, let's go fishing. Southerly winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. And on Saturday,
Nice.
stay home and clean all those fish. Getting to be not so good on Saturday. Winds are going to be from the south 10 to 15, increasing to 15 to 20 towards the afternoon. Seas 3 to 5. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop in the morning, increasing to choppy in the afternoon.
Wow. Today, sunny with a high near 67. Calm wind becoming east around 6 miles per hour this afternoon. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 48. Friday, partly sunny with a high near 75. Saturday, a slight chance of morning showers, partly sunny with a high of 75. Sunday, a chance of showers, high near 68. And don't get complacent because Monday, we're looking at only a high of 49. Cold front coming in. So, Raver, what is happening in Newton Grove, North Carolina?
I don't know.
The police chief
They
is
got some fig Newtons over there?
the police chief is facing 7 felony charges,
Not my fault.
including secret peeping
Oh,
and
no.
indecent liberties with a minor.
In the police station?
Well, following an investigation with the Sampson County Sheriff's Office, agents with the State Bureau of Investigation
boy.
arrested Greg Warren on Wednesday, yesterday, charged him with the following: 1 felony count of indecent liberties with a minor, 2 felony counts of secret peeping, 4 felony counts of possessing images derived from secret peeping. Warren was sworn in as a police officer, as the police chief in 2019. According to court documents, the charges are related to an incident that happened in 2023. You should have gotten rid of the phone. Warren is accused of going into the victim's bedroom and taking pictures of her while she was sleeping.
The Marinara, I just pulled it up
Naughty.
on a special tracking tool.
Yes.
The Marinara is flying under the flag of Russia.
Mhm.
It's listed as a crude oil tanker about 330 meters long. That's about 1,000 feet or so.
Right.
And it's a hazard, a major class A hazard tanker. And it's got, and it turned its AIS, that's the automated tracking system on it.
Right.
Radio stuff that it puts up. It turned it off 5 days ago. And at that time, it was off the coast of England. Off the coast of England in the Atlantic Ocean. Don't know exactly where it is today, but we've got crews on. We know exactly where it is.
Was the container ship that they were chasing? Did you say they were flying under the flag of Russia?
This is an oil tanker, not a container ship.
Right. Okay. Oil tanker.
Mhm.
I knew I'd
It's
get it
flying
wrong.
under the flag of Russia.
And that was wrong, wasn't it?
I don't know what flag it had on it. This is legally, it's supposed to be flying under the flag of Russia. It's a Russian
okay.
registered vessel. And who do we have?
I'm sorry.
You got
I didn't.
Jennifer.
I was Jennifer. I'm sorry. I looked down for a minute. And
Let's see. How was this? This is the Tennessee Walker or the Tennessee Bourbon?
whiskey. Tennessee whiskey.
Whiskey.
Tennessee Walker is a horse, right?
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just going to switch gears. I saw something last week, and I meant to call in and mention it, y'all. I just thought it was very, very neat. We have 2 main post offices up here, and
Lucky
I
you.
always go to the one downtown. I mean, there's 2 big ones, but I always go to the same one downtown, and I needed to ship off a wreath the other day, and the other one is open part of the day on Saturday. So I went to it, and they have the neatest thing. It is a retired flag drop off.
Oh, really?
Do y'all have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in the post office or
We
not.
don't. We have one down at City Hall, and then we have one at the not the American Legion.
VFW?
Yeah, what over here in behind Dunkin' Donuts? What's that back there?
I think that's
FRA.
VFW.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I've never
We got a
had
couple
a
of
reason
locations.
to go in
Right.
City Hall down here. So I had never seen one, and I thought that was very, very neat. And I just wanted to call in and
Nice.
let y'all know about that. And I will weigh in Minnesota. There's a lot that's going to come out.
Yes.
Bottom line, very, very, very bottom line. She shouldn't have done it. She shouldn't have been out there. She shouldn't have been trying to impede them. Bottom line. But I told Terry I'm very much a what if person. I'm a big what if person. What if this had have happened? What if this had happened? Okay. The ICE agents were there, and correct me if I'm wrong, because of the slick road conditions and the snow. They were out they were stuck trying to move their vehicle, from what I
That's
have read and heard.
what I heard too. Yes.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't pay attention
so
to that.
Needless to say, the road conditions were bad. There were people around. Now, she gunned that car directly at that man, and he shot her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to say, if I'd been standing there with Gertrude, I'd have done the same thing. You're coming at me with a car. But had he not, how many people would she have possibly hit speeding on those road conditions when she gunned her engine? I mean, I'm a big what if person.
Yep.
Had that have happened, then whose fault would it have been? You know, there's always something else you can go to on something like this. The elected officials up there cussing and, you know, saying, get the F out of my city, out, you know, all of this stuff. All that's doing is fueling it. I know that was after the fact, but all that is doing, you have simple-minded people. That's what my mama called them, simple-minded people. That's out there, and they're saying, ooh, the man in the suit is saying that this is what needs to be done, and they're going out and doing it. And they need to stop it. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents on it. But saw a retired flag box. I thought that was really, really neat.
And it was a DAV here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The DA.
Robert just sent me. Said, yeah. Thank
Okay.
you, Robert.
All righty. We all have a blessed day.
Thank you, Jennifer.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I know we're out of time, but I don't know if anybody watched the committee hearings on the Minnesota fraud yesterday in Congress.
No.
Waste of time. Pure waste of time. I mean, they had 3 witnesses that were given the facts, talking about how the governor knew this has been going on for a long time, how things were covered up. That was it was all political on the Republican side. The Democratic side, all they wanted to talk about was the fraud at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and how accused Trump of stolen valor for putting his name up on the Kennedy Center. And that's all they talked about. It was all about Trump. Nothing about the money, the $9 billion that was wasted in Minnesota. So, yeah. We'll see what happens today because Tim Waltz is supposed to appear before the committee. I can't wait for this one.
It's going to be fun. Then your daddy going to take your T-Bud away.
I got so frustrated with it because I thought we're paying these are our representatives. And I got so riled up I had to walk away from it because it just made me so mad.
Okay. We will
right.
see you tomorrow. Who do we have? Anyone?
Mm-mm.
Why not? Let's find somebody who wants to talk. Somebody wants to talk in
We
here.
need somebody. Well, I'm working on a few special guests, and hopefully we'll have them in soon. And I need to call downtown and talk to you know who. Anyway,
I gotta go down there.
we've got a lot coming up, and you know what? This year is the 250th celebration of our nation. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's slated to go on in Onslow County, and so we're going to have Parks and Recreation. We're going to have the library.
I remember them
everybody
talking about the 200th anniversary. Remember that?
No,
It wasn't that long ago.
I'm not
the bicent-
admitting to that.
The,
What are you talking about?
bicentennial.
I'm not admitting to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50 years ago.
Didn't they have a $50 that was bison? I forgot the pennies today, didn't I? I'm going to put them in the car today.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I won't forget.
You need some help loading all that stuff up?
No,
I mean,
you
they're
know, because
heavy.
I'm a tough cookie.
I know that they're heavy.
I'll come in tomorrow with a broken back, but no, I'll be fine. But thank you anyway. No, hopefully tomorrow we're going to have, I'm hoping for a special guest that has been kind of like, yeah, okay, I'll let you know. So I'll let you know anyway. But week after next week, towards the end of the week, and the week after, we're going to be pretty full. So, and if there's anybody out there who wants to come on and like be guest host for the day, let me know. We'll talk.
Yep. If you want to slide in here, well,
Yeah.
we welcome you on board. Come on
Yeah,
down.
we love to hear from our
Come on.
community. I mean,
Yeah,
we had Zoe in here last week
absolutely.
and got a lot of good compliments on that. And it was so crazy. Was it Tuesday night when we had that ham knit, whatever?
Yeah.
And everybody on there was like, happy birthday, Zoe.
Yeah, happy birthday
It just
to
made me so
you.
proud for her. She's such a sweet girl.
She
So
is.
we
She's,
love honoring our youth here.
Yep.
So,
All right. We will see you
yeah, we will.
tomorrow morning. Y'all be safe out there. Okay.
It's red day. We're red.
You're live and I'm red.
Yeah,
Today?
you are, but you're going to have to be red again tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm the hooker red today. Though.
Remember, everyone deployed.
I'm hooker red today.
Yes, he is. He's got
It says so.
Wilma Hooker on his shirt. Who's Wilma?
Hilma.
Oh, Hilma. Well, who's Hilma?
That's Wilma's sister. You're live and local. We'll talk where we're awake, never woke. We'll see you in the
I
morning.
need a
Be
nap.
safe.